Hello, it's me, Lord of the Cubes. You probably weren't expecting to see me like this unless you looked at the thumbnail. Gonna address the elephant in the room. I got a new mask. Shout out to Art with an Alien. This is a friend of mine who made the first two versions of the mask as well as this version. I'm gonna link their Instagram in the description of this video. You should go support them. But yeah, I wanted to have the bottom half of my face visible just because, one, I kind of felt like I couldn't breathe and sometimes I'd be sweating in the previous versions that covered my whole face. Two, it doesn't muffle my voice as much, so that's good. And three, I can now do YouTuber thumbnail reactions like... I'm probably not gonna have my face in a lot of videos, but when I do, it'll look like this, maybe with a bit more facial hair though, I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. That's what this video is for. It's my 2K subscriber special, and I'm doing a Q&A. You definitely knew that when you clicked this video, but I am obligated to say it again anyway because I'm a YouTuber. So let's get started with the list of questions here. By the way, I wear glasses, but I'm not wearing them right now because of a mask, so if I'm squinting at the paper, don't mind me. Do you have any advice for people looking to get into puzzle design? Yes, I do. So one, if you're old enough, join the Puzzle Makers Discord server. That's where I learned pretty much everything I know about puzzle design. Two, start with making a 3x3 and work your way up from there. The first puzzle I actually designed was the Master Blanker Cube, which is just a 3x3 shape mod. I just didn't make it until after some other puzzles. And three, do not be afraid to ask for help. You will never learn if you don't ask for help. That's just life. What brand of sock will you eat when Ivy Cube becomes a WCA event? Well, I'm pleased to inform you that Ivy Cube won't become a WCA event, so I won't have to eat a sock after all. If you don't know why those two things are related, then you should watch this video up in the info card. That's the video that got me to 2K subs. It kind of blew up, and it will be referenced a couple more times in this video, so you should probably watch that before continuing this video. How many 3x3s do you have? Well, what counts as a 3x3? I'm going to assume that this person just means like normal 3x3s, just colored normally cubic, without any like tiling or sticker color BS like the Rubik's Impossible or Rubik's Phantom has. If that's the case, then I either have 19 3x3s, or if you count this GAN mosaic here as 36 individual 3x3s instead of just one puzzle, which I usually count it as one for the collection. But if we're counting all of these separately, then I actually have 54 3x3s. What were your main inspirations for puzzle design? Cubes Made Easy and Jacob Cubing were the two like YouTubers that I watched that made puzzles before I got into it myself, so I gotta give a shout out to them. But I guess really like everyone in the puzzle design Discord server just pushing me to make my own puzzles. Shout out to the active members of that Discord server, many of whom are probably watching this right now. But if you're talking about my inspirations for like specific puzzles that I've made, most of them are just based on other puzzles that already exist. For example, the square 3 is just a square 1 with the corners sliced into thirds. The Master Blanker Cube is just a blanker cube, but like a 3x3 version of it, or would it be a 4x4 version? So it's usually just ideas that I get that I feel like should exist and don't yet that are based on other puzzles, so I make them myself. That's what I do. And that's why I make a lot of replicas for my collection, just because I want them. Doesn't matter too much to me whether they've already been made before, but of course it is always nice when I'm the first person to think of something. What motivates you to make your own twisty puzzles? Do you have a favorite kind of twisty puzzle you want to see more of? So I think I kind of just answered the first part of the question. I make puzzles because I want them. Pretty simple. As for what puzzles I want to see more of, definitely face-turning rhombic triicontohedra. There are only like a few of them out there, and it's my favorite Catalan solid. The mask is getting in my eye a bit. But yeah, it's a super cool shape. I love them. They're awesome. You'd never guess that by the fact I dedicated a whole video to one. So yeah, if you have a favorite Catalan solid, comment it down below. I'm curious whether I'm the only one with this take. But as for the puzzles that I make the most of, they're mostly polar puzzles. So polar puzzles just refers to any type of puzzle where it can only do 180-degree turns on the sides, and then the top and bottom layers can rotate freely. So square ones, cheeses, and like any type of face-turning prism would all be considered polar puzzles, as well as any non-shapeshifting cuboid. I make a lot of puzzles in those categories. In fact, there are very few like puzzles that I've made that weren't extension mods and are not polar puzzles, so I guess that's just kind of become my niche of puzzle making. And several designers do have niches. For example, TimSpin makes cuboids, Cubes Made Easy makes a lot of square 1 type puzzles, etc. I don't go out of my way to make a lot of polar puzzles, that's just kind of how it happened, and I do also have several more polar puzzles designed that I still have to print, so. Alright, someone just put Octagon 3 with a little octagon emoji. I'm assuming that this is like a suggestion for me to make an Octagon 3, and I would like to let this person know that I am no longer planning on making giant square one puzzles. The Hexagon 3 was the 50th puzzle I'd signed, and I think that it was a pretty satisfying conclusion to my mini-series of just square one type puzzles with like the square 3, pentagon equal this thing, etc. Of course, I'm going to make a few more for like collection purposes, but I'm not going to make any more big ones. You're probably not going to see any more with more than 20 pieces from me in the foreseeable future. And to answer the questions of the 4 people who asked me why I didn't make a Hexagon 2 and skipped right to 3, well, a Hexagon 2 already exists. It would have all equal segments, so it would be a pretty boring solve. It would basically just be like a square 2 with more pieces. Feels like it'd be tedious to solve, tedious to make. It felt like a waste of time. So maybe I'll make one in the future, but probably not, honestly. What is your favorite puzzle? So I got this question in my 1,000 subscriber Q&A as well, and my answer is you can't do that to me. That's like asking my favorite child if I had 394 children. But right now, off the dome, probably gonna go with the Icasa X. It's awesome. This one doesn't turn particularly well, but like the concept of the puzzle itself is great. It's just an FTO, but applied to an icosahedron. It's got hyperbolic cuts and they like overhang, as you can see, and it does that to hide these like Radio 2 wings here. If you want to see a full video I did on this puzzle, you should check out that info card right there. But yeah, I love this puzzle. But if we're gonna go specifically for ones that I've made, I don't know if this would be my number 1, but it's definitely like top 3. This is the square 3 I made. It turns extremely well, and I think I've pretty much perfected it. Like, I genuinely don't know how I could make it better than it is right now. Like, it turns very well, especially for something that has like 20-degree segments. It can corner cut pretty nicely. Like, I really cooked on this puzzle. Out of all the puzzles I've made, this one definitely turns the best. Hopefully I'll be able to beat it soon, but we'll see. Why is your channel icon an 8th note with the 1x1? And will you make a cube mod of it? So my logo, which is right here, also in my profile pic obviously, is just a 1x1 cube with a little 8th note tail sticking out of it. That is because it combines my 2 passions, which are twisty puzzles and music. I do have a second channel where I upload my own music. It is currently dead, so I'm not even going to bother advertising it. But if you can sing well, please, please, please DM me on Discord. This is my username, because I write songs with lyrics and I can't sing at all, so I can't release anything. It's not a fun spot to be in. With that tangent out of the way, I love the idea of making a cube mod of my logo, so thank you for that idea, whoever submitted it. I would love to make a cube mod of it. I don't think I will do that particularly soon, just because I don't know how I would CAD the tail of the 8th note to look right, but when I do, I will make a Lord of the Cube. What is the difference between a duck? Probably gonna have to go with like 6 or 7. What is your dream puzzle? Icasa X again, but like a mass-produced speed cube magnetic version that also has the standard color scheme. That would be perfect. I think that if people locked in on this like they locked in on FTO, it could even become a WCA event, but we'll see how things go. So if you're talking about my dream puzzle to have like mass-produced or in my collection at all, that'd be the one. What made you start making YouTube videos, and what is your end goal? I believe both of those questions can be answered with one word: fun. I started this in like 2022, I want to say. I had wanted a channel since I was a kid for whatever reason, but I did this just because I like making videos about things that I like, so I did that. And it took me a while to find like a flavor of content that I enjoy making for a while that's like sustainable and unique and stuff that I wouldn't get sick of making. And I've found it. I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now, and that's why I've been pumping out videos like crazy. Like, I kind of locked in and released like 8 or 9 videos in the last month. And my end goal, I guess, is the same thing. Just to have fun with it and, you know, enjoy this. I don't really want to be famous, because that sounds like it'd be really annoying. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with the size of the community I have right now. Maybe a bit bigger would be nice. So don't get me wrong, you should still subscribe. Will you be doing big cubes? Well, if you're asking whether I'll compete in big cubes, I already compete in 4x4. Once I get decent enough at that, I'll start on 5x5. But I don't think I'm going to compete in 6x6 and 7x7. I've said this in a previous video, but I just think that they're redundant. They don't add anything to the solve, and they're just the previous 2 big cubes with more stuff, especially 7x7. And if by doing big cubes you mean will I be making big cubes? Technically, yes, but actually, no. I'm not going to make like a 27x27 or anything like that. In fact, I can't really see myself making anything past like a 5x5, with the exception of that 7x7 extension mod I made a while back. Do you plan on learning full CFOP anytime soon? No, probably not. I'm not really much of a speed cuber anymore, so much as I am like a puzzle maker in terms of how I use my time. I'm really a puzzle maker and collector above anything else. I still compete, obviously, but I just don't think that it would personally be worth it for me to learn full CFOP. I use Tuluk, OLL, and PLL, and I'm fine with that. What's the largest puzzle you've ever assembled, and how long did it take? So unfortunately, I cannot show you guys the puzzle because it's a secret project that I'm still working on, and I spent like 45 minutes assembling it only for me to realize that it was not going to be stable. So now I get to make it again. Yay! That was around a month ago that it failed. I burned out pretty hard after that, but I'm probably going to start working on it again after North American Champs, which, by the way, you guys should come see my puzzle designer table at North American Champs if you're going. When are you going to solve another hypercube/cuboid? You can probably guess who submitted this question. Well, Grant, I don't know, but if I do, it'll probably be a 2 to the 4. That could have been anyone from the Hypercuber server, but I'm assuming it was Grant because I got his Hypercube recently. And yeah, I don't really know when I'll be digging deeper into hypercubing, but it would be nice to have a physical 2 to the 4 in my collection. If you owned a cube making company, which puzzles would you produce the most? Well, I'd probably start off by playing Whack-A-Mole and trying to get as many puzzles mass-produced that have almost been mass-produced, but not quite, as possible. What I mean by that is stuff like how MF8 made a crazy version of a Master's Cube Diamond but never made the real deal. There have been so many times where a 2x2 cross cube has almost been made but not quite. And of course, Varipuzzle makes a lot of sphere puzzles that have not been made as non-spheres, so I'd probably just make like a normal high-ren Minx, normal fake top Minx, etc. As well as, you guessed it, a magnetic speed icosahedron with a standard color scheme. There are a couple of other speed puzzles that I'd like to make as well, but I'm currently working on designing one of them, so I can't reveal it yet. This is a bad time to do the Q&A. I have like so many puzzles in progress, but that also motivates you guys to subscribe so you don't miss them, so. What's your favorite puzzle you haven't gotten a chance to mention in a video? Well, I've gotten a chance to mention all of them in videos, but there's one that I have been saving for a future video, so let me grab it now. This is my replica of the Uncanny Cube by Oscar von Deventer. The way it works is that the white, yellow, green, and red sides can turn, as well as this blue and orange edge right here. So the axis system is that of a right triangular prism, and all of the pieces are actually interchangeable. Basically, all the pieces on like this axis are Fisher Cube pieces, and the rest of the puzzle is just normal 3x3 pieces with a couple of Bermuda-looking centers here. The reason I haven't shown this in a video yet is because I wanted to present it alongside a couple of other replica puzzles I made, and I still need to finish one of them, as well as stickering a Bermuda cube I purchased to look just like this one, but that's a story for another video. You'll see it when it comes out. How many puzzles have you designed, including unfinished ones and blueprints for ones? Well, I have finished building 51 of my puzzle designs. I know that because the Hexagon 3 was number 50, and I've only made one puzzle since then, which is the 2x3 honeycomb. I've got 3 puzzle designs that I still need to sticker, and a whopping backlog of 37 puzzles that I still need to print that I have designed. I just kept designing more and more puzzles when I would get bored, and I'm still doing it. I'm still making my backlog longer, and it's really bad. But anyway, that brings it to a grand total of 91 puzzles, 41 of which are not finished. So I've got loads of new potential content coming soon. Subscribe. And we've got one more late submission question, which is actually 7 questions, and they look like they're going to be pretty fun. Number 1, do you prefer the telegraph, telephone, phonograph, graphophone, or television, and why? I'm probably going to go with the telephone because, like, phones are generally a lot more useful than the other options in this day and age. Can you answer this question while not being in the room? Yes. If you set up 10 of your puzzles as bowling pins and then tried to roll a spherical puzzle into it as a bowling ball, how many pins do you think you would knock over successfully? Well, I'm gonna guess like maybe 2 or 3, but let's find out. It's awful convenient that I just happens to bring downstairs 10 cuboids and a spherical puzzle as a bowling ball for this challenge. All right, now we've got our bowling pin set up. I've got my bowling ball here. Let's see. 0. Are you kidding me? Bro. I'm gonna try arranging them differently. This one's light, so it could fall over easier. All right, let's try this again. That's much better. So 1, 2, 3, 4 puzzles knocked over. That is not bad. Now that that's over, to answer question number 4, either 4 or 0. The first one doesn't have to count, does it? Take the number of pins you successfully knocked over. If a revolving door had that number of doors on it, do you think it would be functional/practical? 4, I mean, yeah, those are pretty normal. If we're going with a 0, though, guess it wouldn't be a revolving door at all, so probably not. All right, now for questions 6 and 7. If everybody collectively stopped stubbing their toes, how long do you think it would take for people to notice? Honestly, probably like a year or 2. I don't know. Like, no one, like, collects statistics on how often people stub their toes. What is an example of something that personally annoys you for an indiscernible reason? When I'm driving and the music just randomly shuts off in my car for like 3 minutes for no reason. I've got a really old car and CarPlay doesn't work that well on it, and it pisses me off really badly, even though it has like little to no impact on my life. Anyway, now that the questions are over, let's move on to future content. You guys suggested more unboxings, more of my original puzzles, more videos about non-WCA speed events, more puzzle theory videos, and more videos of me solving puzzles. All those are gonna happen. Somebody suggested for me to make a puzzle design tutorial. I know that some of my puzzle designer friends are gonna make their own tutorials, so I'll probably just promote theirs instead, but I might make one. It's a solid maybe. Someone just submitted puzzle modes, which I don't know what that means, and I got a request to unbox an order from a specific store that I had a very bad experience with in a very long unboxing video. I'm not gonna name names, but you probably know the one. I'm never gonna buy from there again, so that's a no. And somebody just wrote big cube unboxings, so I don't know whether that means big cube unboxings or big cube unboxings. And I'm not going to unbox big cubes that often because, again, they're just pretty tedious repetitions of smaller big cubes. Like the biggest one I have right now is a 9x9, so I'm not going to get a ton of those with 1 or 2 exceptions. But if we're talking about general puzzle unboxings with a lot of cubes in them, absolutely. You know I love retail therapy. And lastly, someone wants a full showcase of my puzzle collection. They probably didn't know that I already have one, so if you're watching this video, you guys should check out the playlist titled My Twisty Puzzle Collection. It's got 2 videos. It's an hour long in total, because every year I update it with the new puzzles I got that year. So if you want to waste an hour of your time, there you go. And finally, for some reason, I let people tell me what I should say at the end of this video. So here we go. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way that a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. Yes. Ivy Cube in a ridiculously high-pitched voice, lol. Random request, but okay.
No.
I love your channel, can you help me with getting this popular? And then you put your username? Bro, that defeats the whole purpose of it being in anonymous form. In all seriousness though, just stop. I'm not gonna self-promote for you. 15 puzzles should have a 3 for originality, is what this person wanted me to say. My take is that it can, if you want, but I insist on punishing it in some category for being a non-twisty puzzle, so whoever submitted that, let me know in the comments which category you think it should have points deducted from. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should watch my recent video that kind of blew up. Oh. Hi? Curvycopter is pretty good. Minecraft. Big cubes are kinda pain to make. I think you missed a word or two there. Hi. Congrats on 2K. I think that one was meant for me. Consider it. Think about it. Mull it over. Okay, fine. I'll say it. And that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you again for 2K subscribers. Make sure to subscribe. Comment what you thought my face would look like if it was different from what this part of it looks like. And on that note, this is Lord of the Cubes, signing off.